A wee wander.
Hey there, this is Kim with Wonders I Wander, playing another Wee Wander, and this time it's Rusty Lake, Cube Escape, Arles. I may be mispronouncing that name, and there will probably be a lot more mispronunciations to come. We'll see how I do. Speaking of which, here's Vincent Van Gogh. I read somewhere that I should be pronouncing it like Van Gogh, but I don't know if that's right either, so I'm just going to keep saying Van Gogh. And of course, there's one of his most famous works, Starry Night, depicted there in the window. Now, obviously, Van Gogh is a real person and not a fictional character. This is the only game Rusty Lake has that focuses on just him. He gets little shout-outs in some of the other games. And I don't specifically know why he gets his own game, besides the fact that he is Dutch and the game makers are Dutch. Obviously, a lot of people are inspired by Van Gogh's life and works, so I'm sure that factors in. But for now, I am just collecting whatever is in this room. Van Gogh actually has a painting of this room in Arles, which is a city in France. And it's in Arles that a lot of stuff happened with him, which we'll see depicted later. This is a puzzle involving absinthe, a drink I've never had. I did read something somewhere about sugar being used in the drink. I assume that's to cut out some bitterness. But right now I'm just trying to get that sugar to become a painting piece. I don't know what makes absinthe that color. It's a little scary, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start assembling the paintings. This first one is of a Belgian painter named Eugene Bock. I think I read that Van Gogh saw him and just thought he had an interesting face, so he wanted to paint him. So that's nice. Right now, Eugene's going to give us a key, which I appreciate. This next painting is of some dude in the military. I don't know what specific type of soldier he was, and the only name I have for him is Millet. Or Malay. That's the best I can do with that name. And while Eugene gave us a key, this guy is going to give us a sunflower. So thank you, sir. Now the sunflower is part of another puzzle. And this isn't my favorite puzzle. I'm sure there is a much more efficient way to do this, but I just kind of flounder about, as you can see. I learned when I was looking up stuff about this game that Van Gogh has several iterations of sunflower portraits, or whatever you want to call them. Like, I forgot how many. I thought there was just one, but I was wrong. All right. Got my key. So now I can get a knife. And now we're going to meet another person in Van Gogh's life. This is Paul Gauguin. I don't know anything about him. But I like this little thing he's about to do. I like this hand gesture. I think it's great. So we're moving on from that. And we're going to see Van Gogh cut off his ear. And now we're going to use that ear in this really weird setup. So we got an ear in a bowl. And then we got to fill up those other containers with different liquids. So we have some different clues as to how to do that. Or not clues, just basic instructions. So you have to do it based on which direction the lines are going. So if we go in this other part of the room, we know that wine is horizontal, the water is vertical, and the absinthe is diagonal. So that tells us which liquid goes in which container. So I think I start with wine. Yes. I do want to note, it's a lot harder. It's better recording while I'm actually playing the game than doing these voiceovers, because it's just hard. But it's even harder to go into somebody's ear, to a weird layer. Unless it's Van Gogh's ear, apparently. So this is another puzzle I don't like. I usually just look up the solutions. But basically you have to figure out the weight of each item, and then once you figure that out, you get to put the code in the door. So we already know that the drum is 1 pound. And then we figure that the mallet is 3 pounds. I believe that's what it said on the door. So now we gotta use that information to figure out the weight of the other items. So great, this little trumpet thingy is also 1 pound. So that's good. So now I gotta figure out the weight of this weird potato masher looking thing. So you can add other items on there to kind of get the right balance. So now we know the potato masher thing is 4 pounds. And now we just got to get the anvil and then this weird shell thing. So anyways, back to voiceovers. It's hard doing the voiceover work because it's easy enough to just stop the recording if you mess up a word, flub your line in some way, and just start the whole process over again because it's a short game. And again, it's so easy to just press stop and record. So I've probably, in just today, this is probably my 6th or 7th attempt. Like one time I stopped the recording because instead of saying probably, I went probably. Or something like that. So I'm like, start over. So all that to say, it's easier for me to record live. But I keep telling myself that this is the way I want to do things, so we'll see. All right, so we got our code. 1458. So now we're going back into the room, but things are not well. We are about to see a depiction of suicide, or not suicide, well, attempted suicide. He shoots himself in the head. So fair warning. But we get a white cube out of it. So now we have a picture that we have to paint. We got our palette here from our friend Paul. And then I don't know if you've noticed yet, but we have the letters all throughout the room, and the letters designate what color we're going to use. So the GL is for this pretty pale blue color, and then yellow is the HN. The door has colors too, but I always play these games on my phone, so it's really hard for me to tell. On the table, we have a G for this kind of medium shade of blue, raw for the turquoise, and then the towel has WM for the white. And I think that's it. Now, fair warning, even though when I was playing the game, I was thinking to myself, okay, show the viewers what the colors are. I'm thinking of whoever's watching the video, and I'm not taking into account for myself what the colors are. So I'm going to mess up the first time I do this, and then I have to go back and hunt down the right colors. So I'm sorry. I am what I am. I think these colors are right, but I get the background color wrong. Or I might get the moon wrong. Who knows? We'll see in a little bit. I think so far I'm doing okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I paint this the wrong color. Now, when I'm doing this on my phone, I'm just using my finger. So it is basically finger painting on my phone. So that's why it's not as precise as it should be. It reminds me of Mario Paint. So this looks really uggo right now. But even as I was doing this, I'm like, I know that's wrong. So I go back and they're like, hey, you got 3 things right. But I've forgotten that there's also this area here that tells us that the eye, I guess, is green. So okay, so we make that green. And then what do I do? Okay, I go check the other colors. All right, so we go back to the background. They have another puzzle like this in one of the longer Rusty Lake games. Did I say Rusty Game or Rusty Lake? Anyway, in Rusty Lake Roots, there's a puzzle that's like this. And I have a hard time with it too. Just because sometimes it takes a while for the game to register the coloring. Why did I choose yellow? Yeah, I knew in that moment it was wrong. Okay, great. So all we have left is this cube shape. We already have our white cube, and so now we need to make our own black cube. So we got that. And now we just need to put those cubes into the store. And we can be on our merry way. Or I don't know about merry. It is Rusty Lake. We're on our way out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next We Wander. Bye.